welcome to FM Tuition Academy. Okay, now if you haven't hit the subscribe button, there's a red button there written subscribe. Make sure you hit it. Hit that subscribe button. Okay, hit the subscribe button that is in red. Hit the subscribe button. Today we'll be looking at an interesting topic. Okay, so if this is your first time you want to do online tuitions, you should WhatsApp this line 0979 22 20 76 or 095 333 1204. Now this applies for the following grades, okay, but this lesson that we're doing today is from is grade 10, 11, grade 10, 11, 12, and also GCE students. Okay, so what you're learning now is for these grades, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, including the GCE students. Okay, now if you're in any of these grades, you want to do online tuitions, you can contact us on those WhatsApp lines that I gave. Okay, now today we're learning chemistry, and we'll be looking at ions part 2. Okay, ions part 2. We already did ions part 1. Now if, for example, they give you an ion like aluminium 3+, okay, and then they give you aluminium they give you aluminium 3+, and then here down it's 13, there on top is 27, the mass number. Okay, aluminium 3+. Okay, aluminium 3+. Okay, so here they say find the number of protons, neutrons, find the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay, this is what the question is saying. So in this ion, this one, we're trying to find the number of protons. So we'll start with the protons. So protons. So for you to find the protons is very easy. Finding the protons is very easy. The number down represents the protons. Always this number down represents a proton. So you should know that the number down represents the protons. Okay, so it means protons, there are how many here? 13. So that number which I've circled represents the protons. And then the next thing that you're finding is the neutrons. How do you find the neutrons? The neutrons, you always subtract this one on top minus this one down. Okay, the neutrons you subtract, the neutrons always you subtract the one on top minus the one down. So 27 minus 13. So 27 minus 13, what do you get? 14. So it means there are 14 neutrons. What about the electrons? This is where the tricky part is. So make sure you follow me properly. For you to find the number of electrons, always know that the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. The number of protons is always equal to the number of electrons. You have it? I've put it for you here. The number, this one which I've written here, number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. So it means if the protons they are 13, it means the electrons are also 13. But before you put that number 13, you look at the charge you always look at the charge that is given. Look at the what? The charge. This one. The charge will tell you what has happened. Okay? So once the charge is plus, it means you have given out. Okay? You have given out 3 electrons, which have been actually given out, so that once they are actually given out, okay. So once you have actually given out, sorry, there was a discrepancy there. People are asking something. Okay. Now, so I said, how many protons do we have? 13. How many neutrons? How many protons do we have? 13. So it means protons it's 13. Electrons 13. So it means on electrons here I'll put 13. Okay, 13. But because there is plus here, plus it means giving out. So 3 plus it means you gave out 3 electrons. Plus it means you gave out 3 electrons. Okay? Plus means you gave out 3 electrons. So let me repeat what I was explaining. So I said number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. So it means how many protons do we have? Protons is 13. Because here it's 13, you can see. So protons is 13, meaning electrons is also 13. So I'll put 13 electrons. Now, because here it is plus 3. Plus 3, it means giving out 3. If it was minus, it means receiving 3. So, plus 3, it means I gave out 3. So, from the 13, I removed 3. So, it's going to be 10. I hope you have understood. You put, since there are 13 here, when you say plus 3, it means from the 13, chop off 3. Remove 3 from the 13. Okay? So same thing, if they give you, for example, sulfur is the 32, and then sulfur is the 32 on top, and then 16 here. The charge on sulfur, it is 2 minus. Okay? So we are looking for the protons in sulfur. Okay? So how many protons do we have in sulfur? So we're looking for the protons, we're looking for the neutrons, we are also looking for the electrons. Okay? So sulfur, we'll say, we'll start with sulfur. So protons is how many? Protons is the number down. So protons is 16. Okay? And then neutrons, we said neutrons, you subtract the top number minus the down number. We'll subtract this top number, 32, minus the down number, which is minus 16, which will give us 16. Okay? So the neutrons is 16. Okay, now what about the electrons? Remember I said protons is always equal to electrons. That's what I said. This part, don't forget it. So what are the electrons? So it means electrons are also, these protons is equal to electrons, so 16. But I look at the charge now. The charge will tell me whether I should subtract or minus. So this is 2 minus. Since it's minus here minus means gain. So if it's minus 2 here, you put plus 2. So it will be 18. Okay? Minus, if it's minus here, on the electrons you put plus. You remember the former example, the one I just I'm from showing you. It was plus. So here I put minus. Here I put minus here. Okay? But now this is minus, so I have to put plus. It's always the opposite. When it's minus here, here I put plus. Okay? If it is plus here, then here I put minus 2. So here it's minus 2, meaning here I put plus 2 when dealing with electrons. Okay. So let me deal with the last one. For example, the last example is sodium, for example. if you are dealing with sodium, sodium is like this. Sodium is number 23. Okay, sodium is number 23, and then 11. So how many protons are here? How many neutrons are here? And how many electrons are here? Okay, so we'll start. Protons, I've got how many protons? The number down is protons, 11. How many electrons? How many electrons do we have? I mean, how many neutrons do we have? We will subtract the top number minus this one. So we say 23 minus 11, which will give me 1, 2, 12. What about the electrons? Electrons, we said protons is always equal to electrons. That's what we said. But, so it means it's 11 here. Because there are 11 protons, so it means here the electrons are 11. But I always look at the, oh, here I didn't put the charge for this one. This one is actually 1 plus. Okay, the charge for this one is sodium 1 plus. So since here it's 1 plus, meaning here to be 1, it will be minus 1. If there it was plus 1, meaning here to be minus 1. So here to be 10. You see, that's how you do it. I hope your mind has understood. Whenever it's plus, you put minus. Whenever it's minus, you put plus. Plus, it means giving out. That's why you're reducing by 1. Okay. In case you don't want to get confused, just know that when it's plus here, then here to be minus. That's all. Plus, it means giving out. So you have given out 1 electron from the 10 electrons. There are 10 electrons, you have removed 1. Plus, it means removing. Okay. Now, you should try this exercise based on that understanding that your mind has actually learned. Okay, so find the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in the following ions. Okay, so these are the ions. 1, magnesium, 24. Magnesium, it's Mg. Magnesium 24, 12, 2 plus. That's the first one. 2. After magnesium, we have got calcium. Calcium, it's 20, 40, 2 plus. Okay, 20, 40, 2 plus. 40 is here, then 2 plus calcium. And then question 3, we have got potassium, K, 39, 19, 1 plus. Apart from potassium, we've got nitrogen. Nitrogen, it is 7, 14 on top there, 3 minus. Okay, 3 minus. And then question 5. Question 5. Question 5. We have got phosphorus, P, 15, 31. 15, 31, 3 minus. Okay. Okay. Question. Yeah. So basically, those are the main questions that you have been given. So this is the end. So you write and post your answers using photos. You capture with your phone and then you send your answers using the photos. Okay, then I'll mark you. I see how you have understood this lesson. Okay, thank you very much for listening.